What if you could sit down and talk to your older, wiser self? What would you ask? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Little and Wise Talk. I'm young Joca, still learning, still questioning.
And I'm Old Joca, still learning too, but with a few more scars and stories.
Today, we're talking about something real, something we all face. So let me start with this. How do you deal with hard moments in life?
That's a real question, and honestly, most people struggle with it. When life gets tough, a lot of us collapse emotionally. I know I did back in the day. Have you ever felt like that too?
Yes, sometimes it feels like the weight just appears, and I don't know what to do with it.
I understand. And for a long time, I thought the problem was the situation itself, that if I could just fix what was wrong, I'd feel better. But things started to shift when I realized something I hadn't seen before.
What was it?
I learned that most of us don't actually have thoughts. We inherit them. We absorb emotional scripts from parents, from culture, even from algorithms. Then we mistake those scripts for truth. When something bad happens, the first question that pops into your head, "Why me?" isn't yours. You borrowed it. And it's not just useless, it's predatory. That question doesn't want an answer. It wants to keep you stuck.
So the question itself is the trap.
Exactly. The prison isn't the situation, it's the grammar you use to describe it.
That makes sense, but isn't it hard to think like that when you're actually going through the problem?
There's a story that helped me see this clearly. It's about a farmer in a village who owned a stallion. One day, the stallion won a competition, and everyone came to congratulate him. The farmer just said, "No one really knows what's good or what's bad." Strange response, right? The people didn't get it, got annoyed, and left. A few days later, the stallion was stolen. The same people came back to comfort the farmer, and once again he said, "No one knows what's good or what's bad." They left, frustrated. Then, a few days later, the stallion came back on its own. This time, with two mares it met along the way. The villagers returned, celebrating again, and once more, the farmer said the same thing. Not long after that, the farmer's son fell while riding one of the mares and broke his arm. The villagers came to say sorry, and again the farmer repeated, "No one knows what's good or what's bad." Later, a war broke out, and all the young men in the village were called to fight, except the farmer's son, because his arm was broken. So tell me, who really knew what was good and what was bad from the beginning?
I've heard versions of this story before, but you're saying the point isn't patience, it's something else.
Yes, the real trap is our addiction to certainty. We want to know immediately, is this good or bad? Win or loss? Threat or opportunity? But the farmer refused to play that game. He understood that reality doesn't arrive in labeled boxes. We label them, and we're almost always wrong. Not because we lack information, but because we're judging the middle of the story as if it were the end.
So wisdom isn't knowing what things mean. It's tolerating not knowing.
Comfortably not knowing. That's the skill. Most people would rather have a wrong answer than an open question. Growth demands you leave the answer blank, sometimes for years.
That sounds exhausting.
It is. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop demanding to know whether something is good or bad, you actually see it more clearly. You stop fighting reality and start reading it.
Like the difference between drowning and swimming.
Yes, drowning is resistance. Swimming is reading the current.
So the real change isn't in the situation. It's in the perspective.
Exactly. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control the questions you bring to it. And more importantly, you can learn to recognize which questions are yours and which ones you inherited.
So next time life gets hard, what do I ask?
Don't ask anything yet. Just notice. Who is asking? Is it you, or is it a script you inherited?
And if it's the script?
Then you don't need a better answer. You need a better question.
Like what?
Not, what is this preparing me for? That still assumes the universe owes you a reward for suffering. Try this instead. If this moment had something to teach me, not for later, but right now, what would it be?
That's different. That's not waiting for meaning. That's participating in it.
Exactly. Meaning isn't found. It's made, in real time, with whatever you're holding.
So maybe hard moments aren't here to destroy us.
Maybe they're here to reveal what we've been running from.
That's uncomfortable.
Growth is uncomfortable, but so is staying the same.
And that's today's Little and Wise Talk. If you're going through a tough season right now, you don't need to know what it means yet. You don't need to label it good or bad. You just need to stay in the room with it and ask what it's asking of you. See you next time.